Welcome everybody to Best Friends Simulator. Today we're not playing a game. Oops, my toe.
Why are you filming it like that?
I don't know, I wanted to be creative.
There's a card game that Will has called We're Not Really Strangers. So, wait, hold on. This is a serious episode. We're being super serious this episode, and no bits. And we do no bits.
So click off now if you like the funnies. Alright guys, we just filmed the video and there's not very many funnies. So exactly probably around every 3 minutes, there's going to be something that happens.
Yeah, ooh, mystery.
Yeah, and it may be funny, and it may be loud, and it may be off-putting.
It may dilute the flow of the conversation.
It's gonna make no sense. It's gonna be very abrupt, but it's gonna happen.
You're gonna look at it and you're gonna think, God, Gen Z fucking sucks because they constantly need to put in
an explosion. Why do you sit at you're always at the edge?
I stay edging. I stay on the edge. Editor, leave that one in. My candor might be too intense. Candor.
My candor.
Fuck off. I'm educated. Get real.
I'm edging. Get real.
Here's the thing. I really was never smart when I was a kid, and now people fucking...
You weren't?
No.
Really?
I was so stupid. Yeah, because I didn't go to school. I did not go to school. And now I know some things, and now I get made fun of because I talk about it.
You're an interesting experiment. You have a lot of independent learning. You didn't learn shit that you were forced to learn. You learned shit that you wanted to learn.
Yeah.
The beauty of Caroline is the yap. But it's not even yapping. It's always very insightful and very benevolent.
Benevolent? When I'm talking about pissing and shitting, that information is I'm getting out of my own benevolence?
No. When you...
Oh.
You look so funny right now. Don't go piss. My feet are cold because I'm not wearing socks. Stop!
I did not realize how many views our fucking reels were getting.
Yeah, we're really doing good
Why?
on Instagram. We were asked by our social team to make a video for Hanukkah for the Rooster Teeth channels, and we spent 5 seconds on it. That is one of our most viewed reels on Instagram. Sometimes I think I have a good grasp on what does good on social media, and then shit like that blows up, and I'm like, what are we doing?
Damn, do you not clip your toenail?
I do scarcely.
Okay.
Or...
Sparsely. Don't look at me.
So this game is divided into 3 levels. Level 1 is perception, level 2 is connection, and level 3 is reflection.
Love it. Love it.
Love
Absolutely
it.
love it. Love it.
Loving it now.
Shook Cam.
Shook Cam.
Editor, put subtitles to...
You are the editor.
Okay.
Or I'm the editor.
We're both editors. Wait, editor.
Editors kiss each other. That's really funny.
Okay, what's the first thing you noticed about me? Oh, I already know the answer to this one.
Those chapped ass lips of hers. You just came out swinging with hard hitting questions to I was just taken aback. I was like, why is she asking these? And I thought you were a crazy person, but you were asking really bizarre questions to the executives of this company that was trying to hire us.
If you saw me behaving that way now, what would you think?
I'd be like, oh, that's just Caroline. If I see it every day.
By the way, every friend that I've ever met has said the same thing, and I feel like at this point it's just Stockholm syndrome when they're like, no, but that's just Caroline. No, you're just enabling a crazy person.
No, but a little bit of crazy is good. That's better impression than if you came and you were just boring.
True.
Because if you were just boring, then I'd just be like, oh.
The first thing that I noticed about you, real serious answer, I was like, he's very spacey and he's very confident when he's spaced out, but then when he becomes aware of himself and his surroundings, he's extremely insecure.
Thank you for tuning in. Get back in your seatbelts on. A whole bunch of turbulence. That's a whoa.
That's just how I felt. And I'll tell you why. It was because you ordered eggs very confidently with the waiter, and then when Santiago and Jawan started making jokes about your egg whites and you being healthy, you were just like, oh yeah, I'm kind of bold. And I was like, okay, I see what's going on here. This is like, black socks are like the sensor for feet. What subject do you think I thrived in at school? Did I fail any?
I feel like you weren't good at math.
Yeah. Oh, I told you that.
Yeah. What about like calculating a tip? Do you use a calculator?
Yep. Oh yeah, no. Quick math is what I'm.
What's 20% of $50?
I couldn't tell you. The thing with math is that everything is visual, so I have to see the equation in my head, the numbers in my head, and that is so dysfunctional because what that means is that I don't have a good grasp of the value of things conceptually, so I have to see the symbols in my head and then I have to decrypt the symbols in my head, but then I have to remember and imagine what those symbols are, and then
you're a visual learner?
Yeah, well, I guess so. I'm very visual. That's why like I can't do quick maths, because I have to see it in my head and then I have to manipulate it in my head and then
Math is also probably in this day one of the most useless subjects. Well, to an average person. Like I'm never gonna use math, actually.
People that are good at math argue that people use math every day, but it's not math, it's more just
problem solving.
Yeah, it's just critical thinking skills, which
math does. Yeah.
So logic, I'm very good at logic and reasoning, very good at it, but then the minute that it becomes numbers and it becomes symbols to describe concepts, I can't.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Learning new symbols and what they mean.
Yeah, it's just it's a language barrier, and the same way that like I really have a hard time understanding anything that has to do with music and music theory, right? But you can feel music, and you can be musical, but the minute it becomes a language, I'm like, fuck you, stop. Okay, what subject do you think I thrived in at school? Well, I know that you did well in math and science
Math, yes. Science, no.
Really?
I wasn't good at the writing portion of science.
It is to say that I know that you understand things really well, but having to express an opinion is difficult.
Yeah, I'm not good at expressing myself, and that's probably my biggest
insecurity.
Water, yeah, but why am I talking about that right now? I'm definitely better at objective truths than subjective truths. That's why I'm better at math and science, because it's A plus B equals C, you know, rather than well, why does C matter? Or why does C what are B and C even real. In the thing?
That's
so
real.
I don't know. I understand why why A and B equals C, but I'm not good at putting it into words. I'm just not good at expressing.
Sure. What does my Instagram tell you about me? Why don't you do my personal Instagram? Have you seen all of them?
No, I've seen I think this is the last one that I saw. This was this was cool because, you just seem like you fun.
I would find you fun. That's for ballet, because I have friends that will Facetune their photos, right? And it's very obvious that they Facetune them, so I thought I would fuck it up a lot and then have people zoom in, because it looks...
Did you fuck it up?
This is fucked up, but my friends that are dancers will know that it's fucked up, and so that was joking.
Oh.
Because I'm sure that they first saw that and were like, oh my god, Caroline Facetune her photos. And then if they swipe through the carousel, they'll see that. This is what I live with my dog.
Silly. You just look like you don't really care. These are really good
Those
photos.
are really great photos.
It just looks, it's so just fits into the time so well.
Yeah,
this is so 2020.
Oh yeah.
The Comic Sans and the Price is Right song, and just the Wii music.
Of course.
Oh.
It really is a time capsule. Have you seen that?
Oh, and this audio.
How old was I? I was 15.
This was cool. You look very social. You seem very social from this.
Yeah, that's the point. But I'm not.
This is these look like your...
Kind of an Amber
Alert.
Kind
of fucking Amber Alert.
Have you seen the video of the Veggie Tales thing?
You look so social. You have so many friends.
But no. This is what's very important for you to understand, is that I did not have friends. And all of these, I was so preoccupied with documenting me being with friends, because I wanted to convince myself and other people that I wasn't lonely and poorly socialized, when I really
I feel like that's a lot of Instagram, especially in high school, is just what front should I put up? What do I want people to see about me?
Okay, what does this say about you? Yeah. Well, it's interesting because the context of knowing who Gabe is makes this feel differently, but like, yeah, you feel like the silly, goofy guy that's like innocent, like socially awkward, but then came into himself when he was older.
Came on myself.
But at the same time, if you were this insecure kid back then, and you went through what feels like I mean this with all the love of my heart, like kind of what I did, like the poser phase, where you're trying to put up a front, and then seeing you as an adult, it makes me realize like you still are that insecure kid. Yeah. And how is it manifesting? Like,
you can't hide the insecurity.
No, you can't. That's why, like, with YouTube, the fact that YouTube became such a serious thing for me, where I'm like, this is my life, this is my career, and looking back at my videos, it's just me, a child that is so insecure, but just yapping. And I was lucky. That's all that it was. And I based my self-worth on the ability to stay relevant on the equivalent of a slot machine. I will say that there was strategy to it. So when I started, I was like, okay, if I'm really gonna do the content creation shit, I'm going to go after Tom Segura's like audience, and I'm gonna make content for them. And then from there, I'm gonna make content for like this audience. Like I would
so you had a strategy for what audience you wanted to cultivate.
Absolutely. And I would, when I was...
Did that feel less genuine?
No, it felt really fun. Yeah, there was strategy to it, but when we get into like once we got past on YouTube, I'd say like 200,000 subscribers. Once we started to get past that, that's when it felt like it's not luck, it's more just you're the hot new thing that people want to like poke at. Do I seem like a more of a creative or analytical type? Explain.
I think you're analytical when it comes to work, when it comes to the way that you talk about the podcast and the way that you talk about our formats and audience. Like even just hearing you talk about like thinking about social media, like I'm gonna gain this specific audience and I need to create like this in order to gain this specific audience. That seems very analytical.
Like actually creative, that's something that like fucking goes out the door. Like today when I'm driving and all of this creativity is popping, I have no control over it. I'm like, oh fuck, that's a good idea. Where did that come from? Whatever. That's great. Yeah, you're very creative.
Thanks. Level 2. On to level 2, connection.
How can you become a better person? I'll say that whenever you talk about trying to be better, even with when you're like, okay, I'm gonna quit X, and I'm gonna quit X, and I'm gonna start doing X, and then I'm gonna be better, and I'm gonna feel better. I'm like, I don't know if it works like that. Like, and again, it's just my experience, but like, I was suicidal. And then the process of getting not suicidal was not, I'm gonna start to take care of my body and stop doing these things. It was a lot of self-reflection and then letting go of things that were not physical, but were all completely mental. Like the way that I thought about myself and the world and what I needed to do with my life and the value of my life, all of these thoughts that made me so depressed and changed my behaviors. When I thought about that all differently, it made life so much easier. And then doing things to take care of my body and not hurt my body came after that. And then I was like, oh, and now I'm happy.
Through my experience, I'm always happier when I have a better routine.
Sure.
And in order to have a better routine, I need to stop doing X and Y. When I'm doing X and Y, like I'll be in such a self-sabotagey like mindset that it's like, oh, I'm already doing X and Y. I might as well not do A and B.
Yeah,
you know?
Sure.
It really feels like a first step for me.
We also have a different, like physically different
充满魅力和美妙的中国观众朋友们，我感激你给了我在
response to substances.
Yes, definitely. We're talking about weed and alcohol.
And being in your bed all day and ordering food and all the things that come with that. It's a lot easier for me not to stay addicted to things and then have the discipline to stay away from things that I'm addicted to or have a tendency to be dependent on. The addiction is not as strong for me. Like physically, it's just not as strong for me. But I have I think, more of a tendency to get more depressed than you do.
Yeah. I think your lows are lower than my lows.
What's best for me is to not be in denial. So it's not that I lie, it's that I am in denial about things. You're not aware of what you're in denial of until it just hits you in the face.
That's real. I think I've been in denial my entire life until probably like last year. I also thought that I wasn't in denial. So it's like, what if I'm still in denial? You know, it's like
you are. We all are.
Yeah.
What question are you trying to answer most in your life right now? How capable am I? I really don't know how. I don't know what I'm capable of.
I think I literally have the exact same question. Like I don't know how much of the imposter syndrome is true.
Wild card, ask a question you'd be too afraid to ask, something you wouldn't dare to ask. Do you think I'm a fraud?
No. A fraud in what? Because it feels like your goals change every week. Like you'll literally be like, oh, like I'm just gonna join the Peace Corps.
Still feel that way.
I'm just gonna join the AmeriCorps.
Still feel that way.
Do that way. And then you're like, when I'm 25, I'm probably just gonna end up going to the woods and and then you're like, well, actually, I think I'm just gonna marry rich when I'm like 30, and then you're like, well, actually, I think
they're all in the
I'm
same
gonna cultivate a community, and then.
But they're all in the same thing.
Yeah, but where are you gonna land though?
I know. What can we create together?
A baby.
Editor and pray baby.
I think if we really were both excited about a project that was serious, I think we could make a really interesting short film, or I think we could make a really interesting brand.
But I think for that to happen, because I agree with you, I need to stop changing so much. When that happens, yeah, I think that we'll probably make something very good, because I'll hold you accountable and you won't have to hold me accountable. What do you think I should know about myself that perhaps I'm unaware of?
I really think that you think about yourself and the way that you are so much that it's like, I don't think I'm going to be able to say anything that you don't know already.
I'm so self-centered. It's wild. I think you know this. And I think you get really defensive.
No, I don't.
That's funny. Whenever you check comments or analytics, and I'm like, don't do that. You're like I know that you get annoyed when I say that because I'm kind of like mommying you. But I really don't think you should do it, because I think the times when you've come into work and been the least productive is when you read a comment I can tell that you really didn't like, and it makes you question how good you are at your job, and then you come in the next day and you're like,
no, it's literally, I think it's literally just an addiction to positive affirmation.
Yeah, stop it. I'll give you positive affirmation.
No, you fucking won't.
Yes, I will.
Tell me something nice about me.
All the things that are good about you are the things that you're afraid of losing. And so for me to say hey, these things are really good, you're like, I know they're good. And that's why you're like, oh fuck, I can't lose these things. So that's why I never.
What?
Well, if I were to say to you, I think you're really, really creative. When you did the scavenger hunt, I'm like, wow, you were really good at that.
Yeah, that's just gone.
But that's what I mean. So if I give you positive affirmation, you're gonna be like, but it's not there anymore. And so I don't want you to be like, because you want.
Positive affirmation turned into insecurity is funny.
That's what I mean. So that's why I don't.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Best Friends TV. We have a great show for you tonight.
Give you positive affirmation because I'm like, it won't do anything.
Oh my god, my little piggies are peeking. Sorry. One thing that really stuck with me that I don't know if you still believe, but I really don't think you're a mean person.
There was a point in time where I really did believe, and every doctor that I ever spoke to also confirmed that those things, I was never going to be okay again. And so
damn,
I have to unlearn those things, and it's very, very hard. What am I most qualified to give advice about? Stop it, you fucking... Love this cat. Love this cat. I love it. Love the cat.
I think that you're very qualified to give advice about. You really help me connect the dots with certain emotions or events. You'll be like, well, you feel this way because of this. And I'm like, I do, I guess, yeah. Oh shit.
I listen to you the most when you call out bullshit. And so it's a very general thing, but when you are like, okay, fuck that. There are moments where you're very genuine, you're very positive, you're all these things, and then there are moments, very brief moments, where you're like, yeah, that's not happening. And when you have those moments and you say those things and you say it in that way, I'm like, okay, he's probably right. You're very good with bullshit, not very good with crazy though. I'm telling you. Because crazy things will happen, you'll be like, but does that mean anything?
Well,
not
you
crazy.
gotta understand why the crazy.
I know.
You gotta understand.
I know.
That I can fix her.
How do our personalities complement each other?
I think we could both be serious in a silly way, and we can also be silly in a serious way. Actually, that means nothing. Did we do it?
We did all of it.
Wow.
It's gonna be
so connected
much
with you.
footage.
I'm so connected with you.
And this is the thing. I was like, I've been paying my Texas tag. I don't know why I just got this thing in the letter from Texas tag saying that I have like overdue bills. And it wasn't the Texas tag. It was like something else. It was like the state.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Bald cock ready. 1, 2, 3.
Can we put that video on?
When he breaks into a house.
Come here, son.
Naked grandma. Naked, huh?
Okay.
Do you see what that's? Thanks everyone for watching Best of Friends
Simulator. Subscribe.